boy Gilbert here, WWS longest reigning light heavyweight champion. That's right. I said it. Yes, I did. And this is for all you YouTubers out there. You're first. That's right. You're first to tune into Around the Point. That's right, with Heel Steve. Heel Steve and Around the Point, baby. Just don't get no better.
Yeah. So what is going on, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. Do you guys hear me? By the way, I hope that you guys can hear me, but we are now live. That's right. I'm actually live on a Monday night. I am doing a live Raw review, a good old-fashioned live Raw review, just like the good old times here on the YouTube channel. Being that I'm on vacation this week from both of my jobs, I decided to, you know what? While I'm off from work, let me get active again, like the good old days, if you will. So there's that. I'm decided to, you know what? This week alone, let me pop up on camera here because I'm pretty sure you guys wanted to see this ugly fat face. There I am, guys. What's going on? So being that I'm off this week from both jobs, I'm going to try to be active on the channel. Be very active here, pal. We got things going on, a lot of things going on the channel. I'm going live tonight, as you can see right now, for the Raw review for November the 8th, 2021. Tomorrow I'm going live with NXT. I'm going to try to go live Wednesday, obviously, for Dynamite. This Thursday, myself and Big Mike and others, being that we are in the spirit of Survivor Series, you know, something that WWE apparently doesn't seem to care about anymore. We're going to be doing a live watch along this coming Thursday. We're kicking things off with the 1991 Survivor Series. That's going down this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Live on YouTube, live on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch along with us and a lot of fun stuff, we look forward to that. But I want to thank you guys, as always, for tuning into the channel. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button down below. Please do. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video stream a big old thumbs up. Yay. See, I'm like Fonzie from Happy Days. Hey. And if you're on Twitch, please hit that follow button. We're trying to become a Twitch affiliate. So we're live on 2 platforms, pal. So we're doing it tonight. But yeah, also while you're at it, you want to check me out on social media. Check me out over on Twitter and Instagram over at Heel Steven. That is where you can check me out. If you guys missed it on Saturday, the gang got back together and we did a live watch along to both UFC 268 and also the main event of Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez in the 11th round went to a different fucking dimension and put the boots to one Caleb Plant. So if you want to see that, again, all this is on the video archives of the channel. Also, this past Thursday, myself, Big Mike, and Dave Sack went live and we gave our thoughts on the releases. So all the stuff that's on the channel, please feel free to, you know, hit the thumbs up and a lot of fun stuff. I also posted a poll. It's in the chat. Hopefully you guys check that poll out and all that fun stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy Monday Night Raw? I gave 3 options for you to choose, basically. Hopefully you guys choose and a lot of fun stuff. And hopefully you guys can also hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me and all that fun stuff. I really am curious on that. I'm very, very picky with that type of shit. But we're going to get into the Raw review in just a sec here, okay? I just want to make sure, you know, I can be heard here, God damn it. I just want to make sure if I can be heard here. We're good. Hey, we're good. We're going on good. So I'm going to be honest. I thought Raw tonight, being live from Louisville, Kentucky, and again, I haven't done any of these Raw reviews in such a long time. To bear the fuck with me. I even took notes. Holy shit. I took notes for a Raw review for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to be doing that too. I guess that's what the kids now do, right? They take notes and they they gave their thoughts on the show and a lot of fun hippity hoopla. So let's get into this, shall we? Let's get into this. If you guys have questions for me, feel free to drop them in the comment threads, and I'll try to get your questions as soon as I possibly can, and all that fun stuff. So I thought the show overall, with all the stuff that's been going on with these releases, and apparently there'll be more releases coming on, real soon. The fact that over the weekend, they announced the teams for Survivor Series for the men and the women, just like that. And I love how tonight on the show, I loved how they try to, make it seem like, Survivor Series is a big deal. It's historical. And it's one of the top pay-per-views of the year. It's historical. A lot of stars have come out of this show and all that stuff, right? The tradition, the history, you kind of get the idea, right? Mind you, this is the same company that even through all that, right, over the last couple of years, let's be honest here, Survivor Series has been dragged through the mud. They have been dragged through the mud. Yes, it's supposed to be a historical show. For all accounts, it's supposed to be, but let's be honest here. They have treated the show like shit. For what's supposed to be, again, one of the big five, right? Because I guess now Money in the Bank is kind of like in that type. It's kind of in that category, right? But Survivor Series is like the ugly stepchild in the whole thing, right? It's like it's WrestleMania, then there's SummerSlam, right? And the Royal Rumble, then there's the Royal Rumble, right? And then people treat Survivor Series like it's whatever. But you kind of get the idea. But with all that being said, I thought this show had its moments. I'm not going to lie to you. It had its moments. I thought overall the show was a passing show. I'm not going to say, I was excited, crazy. Because let's be honest here. Sitting through these shows are a fucking chore. Let's just keep it at 100 right now. Watching Monday Night Raw is a chore. Usually, I turn the show off at 10 o'clock. Because honestly, I got work in the morning. Got to be up at 3. But being that I'm on vacation, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually doing a review. I'm going to actually sit down and watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. I was stoned because I can't watch it sober. I don't know how anybody sits through these shows sober. I don't know how. I don't know how are some of the big timers on here. How do they manage to sit down for 3 hours of the show and then do a review? It's beyond me. It's crazy. How am I doing this right now is even crazier. So the show kicked off with a video package from last week's show. It kicked off with what we saw last week between Kevin Owens and Big E and how Rollins got involved. And I guess without Kevin Owens knowing, and Big E thought what he thought, right? And you know how that ended, right? With Big E beating Kevin Owens and at the end attacking him. And we go into this week, and it's basically Kevin is basically backstage, right? Kevin Owens and Big E. And Kevin Owens is trying to explain himself from what happened last week. Owens said basically that he didn't know Rollins was going to do what he did in his match. But Big E, being that he was in the main event tonight, being that, Kevin Owens, was in the main event against Seth Rollins tonight. And Big E just didn't care. Big E did not care what Kevin Owens had to say. Even though Kevin Owens throughout the entire night wanted to know if you trust him, if you can trust Kevin Owens. That was the big question that he wanted answered throughout the night on this show. That was basically the theme. Do you trust Kevin Owens the same way you trust your barber? Do you trust Kevin Owens the same way you trust the waitress at the local Waffle House? You know, when you say you want your steak mid-rare, you hope it's mid-rare. It doesn't come back medium or well done. You kind of get where I'm going with that. The trust. Do you trust Kevin Owens? So we opened the show with Rollins coming out to the ring, and the crowd, they were really going at him. right? The crowd was chanting, they were chanting that Rollins looked stupid. And Rollins basically, it's all the crowd because, again, they were chanting that he looked stupid, which in reality, you can make the argument that he did. I mean, you tell me, guys, didn't he look stupid right there? It's like Mary Poppins. He's basically fucking Mary Poppins. What the fuck is that? I have no fucking clue. I have no clue what that is. But that's what he wore. That is exactly what he had on the show to open the show off, basically. And he was talking about how, again, basically you can't, trust Kevin Owens. You can't trust him. He is a snake. Even though he's known Kevin Owens for so many years, they shared floors together back in the day, but he knows that Kevin Owens is a prize fighter and all that stuff, right? He'll fight anyone and anyone, anytime. But at the same time, he knows Kevin Owens, the real Kevin Owens, is a snake. The real Kevin Owens, you can't trust. The real Kevin Owens, right? For whatever reason, you just cannot trust. He will turn his back on you. That is basically the real Kevin Owens. And then Kevin Owens comes out after hearing all this, right? And he rushes to the ring. He brawls with Rollins. They're brawling. And there's a moment where Rollins went to powerbomb Rollins on the apron, but Rollins escaped. I mean, again, I like a good old-fashioned brawl here and there. I do. Who doesn't, really? Again, it's a way to get the people into the main event. Like, here's the thing about it, okay? You know for a fact that Rollins and Owens are going to go out there and they're going to kill it. They always do. Let's not pretend that they don't, because we know that they do. They always tend to kill it, okay? No matter how much time you give them on television, you let them have a match on Monday night or Friday night or even a Sunday night or even Saturday night, you know they're going to kill it. But let's be honest here. You watch one Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins match, you've seen them all. You've seen them all. Just saying, okay? Just fucking saying. So that was the thing, right? That's how we kicked off the show. Again, a good old-fashioned brawl to get the people excited for the show and all that stuff. That's how they started the show off. We had a backstage segment with RK Bro. And they're talking about how last week Riddle tried to help the Street Profits after Omos, had his way with them. Both of those guys, right? And Orton basically said, to Riddle, again, there was no reason for them to be involved in this whole thing. But Riddle, because, he wanted to help out and all that stuff, they didn't really have to. They need to focus on that. They are the Raw Tag Team Champions. He doesn't care. This is what Orton basically saying. He doesn't care, doesn't give a shit about the Street Profits. All this while the Street Profits are right behind Randy. It's like that whole thing of you're talking shit about somebody, but they're right behind you the whole time. So they're hearing what the fuck you're saying. And you see Riddle trying to be the icebreaker, trying to break the ice here and shit. But it led to the next match on the show, which was basically an 8-man tag team match, playa. We had RK Bro and the Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles and Omos. So it's basically AJ and Robert Roode in the same team. It's the most TNA thing you could have seen on television tonight. I loved it. Robert Roode. I'm just calling Bobby Roode, okay? Fuck it. Okay? Bobby Roode, you look at him now and think, this guy was a world champion, yo. This guy was a big deal at one time as a heel in 2013. Heel Bobby Roode in TNA 2013 was it. It is crazy because I miss his old theme song, I'm Off the Chain. I do. I really, really do. But that's around the point. That's nor here or there right now. It isn't. It really, really isn't. So the match was, okay, the heels, they worked on Riddle until Orton got tagged in. And they threw AJ into the outside for almost to catch him. So overall, again, it was back and forth. Also, at the same time in this match, there was some miscommunication between the Dirty Dogs and AJ and AJ and Omos, right? AJ told the Mutts to not tag in Roode or Ziggler, and all this is happening, right? And Omos basically has the match won, right, for the team. And Stahl wants in, to which Ziggler then tags himself in. And there's an argument ringside. There's an argument between, Bobby Roode and Styles and Omos, and they're going at it. And then Orton gets involved in all this shit with the Street Profits. And you see Riddle just laying there, and Ziggler capitalizes and pins Riddle for the win. So there was that. So the Dirty Dogs have a win, or they pinned a member of the Raw Tag Team Champions. I'm to believe now this team is getting a shot at the championships. And why not? At this point right now, Ziggler is a lifer in that company. I'm surprised Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode dodged a bullet. I'm gonna be completely honest with all of you guys. I am fucking amazed how Dolph Ziggler in 2021 still is employed by WWE. How the fuck is that even happening? Someone please tell me this. Someone please tell me, how the fuck is this motherfucker still employed by WWE? I guess he knows when not to pick up a cell phone. I'm just saying, or whatever the fuck it may be. Okay. I'm just saying, bro, the day Ziggler gets released by WWE, oh my God, heads are going to be like, what the fuck, WWE? So there was that, right? Another thing, too, Randy Orton was so over with this fucking crowd. So over with this fucking crowd in fucking in Louisville, Kentucky, the home of Muhammad Ali. So backstage, we see Kevin Owens again trying to ask people, hey, do you trust him, right? Do you trust him? Do you trust him? That was the thing, again, throughout the whole night. Do you trust Kevin Owens? Do you trust him? And he's talking to Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Owens goes on to say how he looked up to Mysterio's entire career, so he respects his opinion. And, again, Rey Mysterio is also going through his own issues with Austin Theory and I guess with Dominic and all that stuff, right? So you see that apparently Adam Pearce has summoned Dominic and Rey Mysterio. And they're in the ring. And basically Adam Pearce talks about the Survivor Series and the tradition and all this stuff, the history. Again, I love this. I love how they talk about all this shit, but they literally had zero effort into setting up these teams for fucking Survivor Series. I just love that. Please, again, it's just so crazy to me. And Pierce goes on to say how almost everyone on his team is a former world champion. Kevin Owens, former Universal Champion, Rollins, former WWE and Universal Champion. Rey Mysterio himself is a former world and WWE champion, right? In his own right. And if I look at Team Raw right now, I think also on that team, so we have Rollins, we have Owens, we have Mysterio, right? I know there's one more person on that team. Holy shit. Who the other person on that fucking team? Holy crap. What the fuck's going on here right now? I could have sworn I know the other. Oh, yeah. Finn Balor. There you go. Finn Balor, who was not even on the fucking show. Not even on the show tonight. Also a former Universal champ. But Dominic's left out in this all shit. Because Dominic's not a champion. Even though the tag team champion, he's not a world champion. Even fucking Adam Pearce goes on to say, there's a lot of potential in you, Dominic. I see a lot of potential in you. But the reality is right now, it's, again, we need a team that's going to win. So Dominic tonight has to basically defend his spot on Team Raw against this man. And you're wondering who it is. And out comes Bobby Lashley, former WWE champion. Listen, you knew the moment this match was announced that Dominic was fucking doomed. And I can agree, for all that it's worth, Dominic has a lot of potential. I said this all the fucking time. But it's just not right now. And I'm watching this match. And again, another theme with the show, a lot of people on the roster were not happy with the way WWE announced these teams. And I'll get to that when we get to the women and all that shit, right? So this match is happening, and Dominic is getting his ass handed to in a one-sided beatdown by Bobby Lashley. Don't get me wrong. Dominic had his moments offensively. He did. But it wasn't like, oh my God, this is anything, oh my God, can you believe that? Nah. Like, you knew going in, Dominic wasn't winning. And Lashley should have ended this shit in just 30 seconds. But he prolonged it. And he had the hurt locked in. And he refused to let Dominic tap out, try to punish him a little more. Ray got involved, but eventually at the end, Lashley got the win, and he's now replacing Dominic on Team Raw. I'm going to say this right now. If your idea is to have Team Raw get a win here, let Lashley be the sole survivor. My other thing is, please, can we please do something with these Survivor Series matches to have some ramifications? I don't know, if a spot in a 30th spot in the Royal Rumble. I'm just saying, can we please do something to spice things up a bit here? I'm not saying for an invasion. I'm not saying to bring up NXT 2.0 or NXT UK. What I'm saying is make this exciting for me. Granted, I'm not even going to go to the show because I'm not. I got things going on that day. But come on. Seriously. Make me care is basically what I'm trying to say. Make me fucking care. So, like I mentioned before, we had that. Backstage, we had Rollins and Gable with Otis, and they're talking about Kevin Owens and how even Gable sees the way Rollins, doesn't trust Kevin. No, he doesn't trust Kevin Owens. And there's a match between Chad Gable and Big E, the WWE champion. And listen, you knew going in that Big E was going to win. But what's good about this, though, even in defeat, Gable comes out of this looking good. The more we see Gable wrestling, the better for everyone. Hits a Tower of London and gets a near fall. Literally a man of superhuman strength here. How the fuck they have nothing for this guy to be? I hope they do something with him now, even with this pairing with Otis. Give them the tag titles. Why the fuck not? Give these guys the fucking Raw tag team titles. Seriously, WWE. Just give these guys the fucking Raw tag team titles. So there was that too. The women are backstage. I said this earlier, right? Regarding how a lot of people on the roster aren't even happy with the way the teams were set up for Survivor Series, right? So you see in the women's locker room, you see not Dana Brooke. Oh, she was there. You see Sonya Deville with Adam Pearce. And they're announcing that tonight, the 5 women that are part of Team Raw will compete in a fatal 5-way. And the winner gets a shot at the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, for the Raw Women's Championship. Again, we're talking about Team Raw here. We have Carmella, Queen Zelina, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and fucking Bianca Belair, right? That's your team. And you see Doudrop getting involved, talking about how even, again, a lot of them are wondering, or questioning how these teams were set up. A lot of people weren't happy with that, and including people on the roster. They were not cued in on any of this. And how they feel that they deserve an opportunity. Doudrop went to mention how Bianca had a shot last week and she failed. How she deserves an opportunity to shine here, that being Doudrop. Dana Brooke, whose boyfriend is apparently got arrested for beating up a troll online, an online troll, talked about how she deserves an opportunity, even though she's been there for how many years now? Has she been? And that's another one too. I talked about earlier about Dolph Ziggler. How the fuck is Dana Brooke still employed? How did she dodge that bullet? But she did. To which then we had fucking, what's her name? Oh my God, what's the fuck? We went from Dana Brooke, even Liv Morgan. My bad. Yeah, obviously Liv Morgan as well. But then Nikki Ash, the former Raw Women's Champion, talked about how she at least was a champion and she's worthy of being, I guess, on Team Raw, an opportunity and shit like that. So there was that. We get onto the Fatal 5-Way. And let me just say, well, not yet. We get to, after we get Reggie defending the 24/7 championship against Drake Maverick. Here's the thing about it, okay? I know a lot of people, when it comes to Reginald now, it's grown on them now, it's whatever. I tend to, find a little chuckle here and there with these 24/7, spots, and I find a little chuckle. They're not always funny. I mean, listen, Reggie isn't Crash Holly, okay? But he makes it work. At least he's trying to make the shit work, right? He had a match with Drake Maverick. It's the saddest shit in the world. When you think about this, like a year and a half ago, Drake Maverick did a video on Twitter crying. And that's not the sad part about it. He cried because he lost his job. And, again, the story was great. He was in that tournament. He didn't win, but he got his contract and all that stuff. Even if that was part of an angle or not, part of that was legit. And, again, he had his time at NXT. They put him in a tag team, and now his partner's gone. And now here he's on Raw, back in the same bullshit he was before when he was on the main roster for the 24/7 title. It was like, bro, why'd you even cry for? So, and again, whatever they were doing, it was fine. This led to people coming out, and Drake Maverick pinned Reggie, rolled him up. And then out of nowhere, Tosawa, because again, once the match ended, the 24/7 rule became official again, right? So out came Tosawa, rolls up Drake Maverick for the 1, 2, 3. And then out of nowhere, outside of the fucking ring, Corey Graves rolls up Akira Tosawa. It is a new 24/7 champion. And then from behind, Byron Saxton rolled up Corey Graves. And people cheer for some reason. I thought, I was laughing. I was fucking laughing. To me, the segment was stupid, but whatever. Drake Maverick rolled up Byron Saxton, and then inside the ring, Reggie got the win back. So we literally had 6 title changes in 90 seconds. What the fuck? Random as hell. I didn't care. I really, really didn't care. From there, we had the Fatal 5-Way with the winner facing Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship down the road, likely after the Survivor Series, or maybe we'll see even before that. Like I mentioned before, the 5 women, that being Bianca Belair, Carmella's, Queen Zelina, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan, all part of Team Raw. Becky was on commentary throughout this match, and on commentary, she was talking about, Liv Morgan, how she's been on this roster for on the company for so long, but yet hasn't really gotten the opportunity, hasn't really won the big one, hasn't really showed up when it mattered. And it's kind of true, again, someone like Liv, think about this, right? She was part of a trio, 2 of them now are gone. She's on her own. Let's be honest here, right? Let's be honest here, okay, for 1 second. If I would have told you guys in 2017 that when the Riot Squad was coming in, that, hey, 4 years from now, the one that survived, out of the 3 still in the company is Liv Morgan, I guarantee a lot of you would not believe me. I guarantee you that. A lot of people are like, nah, bro, you bugging right now. No, I'm being dead ass. I am being dead ass right now. Being fucking dead ass with all of you on that. To which we get the match and they're going at it. Everyone's getting their shit in, right? But again, the match for my liking went on for way too long. I know a lot of people say, oh, you hate women's wrestling. No, I don't. I get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get over Liv Morgan. You knew she was winning the way Becky was talking about her on commentary, right? But they made it for so long. And I guess, again, listen, you try to kill time. I get that. You try to kill time. You got Rollins and Owens waiting, literally waiting, right? To have their match and kill time too and kill what have you. So from there, eventually, right, it looked like Bianca was going to win. Doudrop gets involved, punches Bianca. So it looks like from here, we're going to get a Bianca Belair and Doudrop program, which I'm all for. Why not? Something for her to do. I'm all for it. So Liv Morgan gets to win here. She gets to win. She is going to get a future title shot. The question, is she winning? No, she ain't winning. Let's be real about it. It ain't happening. Good for her. I'm amazed that with all the news that happened between Charlotte and Becky, that we're still getting that match at Survivor Series. I'm amazed. I'm fucking amazed how we're still getting that match in a couple of weeks in New York with their history and all that shit. I'm fucking amazed. Again, backstage is basically Big E talking to Rollins and all that stuff. How Rollins wants Big E to trust the devil he knows and not the devil, he doesn't want to know, that being Kevin Owens. And Big E's going to be at ringside for this shit. He's at ringside watching this match because, again, even him at Survivor Series, he has a match against Roman Reigns. So he's watching this match. And like I said before, with Rollins and Kevin Owens, when they go at it, they're not going to miss. They're going to go at it and they're going to kill it. They're going to go out there and tear it down. They're going to go out there and tend to steal the show and have probably the best match on the night. And boy, did they. But at the same time, it's like you watch one Kevin Owens and Rollins match, you've watched them all. You've watched them all. I mean, it's like, I'm not saying it was a bad match. I thought overall it was a good match. But it's like something I've already seen before from these two guys. And again, the whole story of the night, do you trust Kevin Owens? Do you, that's right, you watching right now, do you trust Kevin Owens? That was the question. Even Owens asking R-Truth was funny as hell for what it was worth. And again, Rollins and Owens went back and forth. Big E was at ringside. Again, there's them two going back and forth. It was crazy. Before this, though, right? Theory, I didn't mention this before, walked out and took selfies with the commentators, even tried to get one with Big E, but Big E just swings his phone far away and shit. Like I said before, they went out there, they gave it their all. But again, the theme was, can you trust Kevin Owens? Rollins was launched by Owens into where Big E was sitting near the end of the match. And this caused Owens to bump into Big E, which caused Kevin Owens to lose via countout. So Owens lost via countout because he bumped into Big E. Rollins gets the win. I mean, it's kind of anticlimactic, but it served for what was going to happen near the end of the whole thing, with Kevin Owens from behind attacking Big E and leaving the WWE champion lying there. He went to powerbomb Big E on the apron. So here's the thing about it now, with all the talk of Rollins and Big E, which is going to happen, likely after Survivor Series, we got to add Kevin Owens to this shit. I mean, listen, Kevin Owens is getting involved with the WWE champion. Makes me think that, hey, there's a possibility that Kevin Owens did sign a new deal. He might have signed a new deal, and that might upset a lot of people. That might get people triggered a little bit here. We don't know. This is the thing about it. Right now, we don't fucking know what's going to happen. But I love the fact that now we're probably getting a heel Kevin Owens. And damn it, he needs to turn heel. Give me it. Let's see it. I'm all for it. And that's how they close Monday Night Raw. Again, am I looking forward to Survivor Series right now with the way they're treating the show? No. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the same formula on SmackDown. We're going to get probably someone from Team SmackDown. Let's look at Team SmackDown for a second here, okay? You basically got, right, Drew McIntyre, right, Jeff Hardy. You have Madcap, about Happy Corbin, Sami Zayn, and obviously King Xavier, right? I'm pretty sure they'll do something here. I don't know. I'm pretty sure something with, I don't know, King Corbin having to defend his spot against someone like, I don't fucking know, Ricochet, have him, still retain. I don't know what's going to happen, but something like that, okay? And if you look over on the Raw side, on the SmackDown, you got, on the women, you have Sasha, Shayna, you have Natty, Aaliyah, and Shotzi. Maybe we'll have Aaliyah defend her spot against somebody. Who the fuck will that be? We don't know. but I see that happening. Again, the same formula here against Naomi, and then have Sonya Deville cost Naomi and have Aaliyah, get a big shocking win. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens, okay? But I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in and all that fun stuff. If you are new to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram over at Heel Steven. Hit me up over there. Follow me there and all that stuff. This Thursday, we are going live with a Survivor Series watch-along. Survivor Series 1991. So tune in this Thursday. We'll be live on YouTube and Twitch. Myself, Big Mike, and others will be watching the show. Should be a fun one and a lot of fun stuff. I'm also, by the way, guys, I'm doing a Q&A. So if you guys have not yet submitted your questions, feel free to send in your questions and all that fun stuff. Again, I'm doing a Q&A on Thanksgiving Thursday after I eat. I'm going to answer your questions. So feel free, drop in your questions and all that fun stuff. And I can't wait for that one. So yeah, guys, also this Saturday, we'll be doing a live watch along the AEW's Full Gear. So you guys know. So if you have not yet subscribed, you hit the subscribe, hit the follow button over on Twitch, twitch.tv/aroundthepoint. And with that being said, guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go to bed. I got another day tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for an NXT review. I'll be reviewing NXT tomorrow. Also be reading the poll, which from what I'm seeing right now, I asked, did you guys enjoy Raw for tonight? 40% of you have said so far, 40% of you guys said so far, hell yeah. 40% of you. 60% have said, nah, bruh, shit was whack. And so far, 0% have put the option of, bruh, I forgot it was even on. So that's how we're looking right now. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for the NXT review and all that stuff. I know this was kind of unexpected, me doing a Raw review. The fact that, again, I'm on vacation from both jobs. So there's that too. And again, hopefully we get things going on Tuesday with the NXT review and all that stuff. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for the NXT review. With that being said, I am Steve. Thank you all for watching. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace out, everybody. Good night, y'all.